could do it over. Just come a little closer now. Over. Come a little closer. We could do it over. Just come a little closer now. Over.
Safari World was the first destination I visited in Bangkok. I haven't never seen any open zoo as enormous as this one, so it was so impressive. The Erawan waterfall in Kanchanaburi was the first long trip I went with my friends. Not too far away from Bangkok, if you enjoy swimming and hiking, the Erawan waterfall is absolutely worth visiting. Since I moved to the university and studied English education as my major, I always knew I wanted to study abroad. But due to financial problems, I wasn't sure how possible it would be. I had never been to abroad and always dreamed of traveling and meeting new people, seeing new places, and overall broadening my horizons. Furthermore, as a low-income student, I'd never had the opportunity to travel abroad growing up. So I believed studying abroad might make that possible. I've always been curious about the world around me, and I wanted to see what existed beyond my life growing up in a small village in the mountainous area of southern Vietnam. Thankfully, I was able to participate in the IAESTE exchange program. It's kind of the short-paid internship in 3 months. I knew the chance for English teaching abroad through IAESTE was like once in the blue moon, so I decided to spend all my money I earned in 1 year working full-time and took the chance without any hesitation. In the span of 2 weeks, I had my first passport, visa, every document, packed up my suitcase, and hopped on a plane to Thailand. Actually, I just had annoyed to decide because I waited for the chance for so long. I followed IAESTE since I was a first-year student and I got this IAESTE internship in Thailand until 5 years later. I decided to apply right after I saw the post on Facebook, and just by a saying, give yourself a chance. If you don't apply for IAESTE internship, you even have no opportunity to lose. Interning abroad completely changed my life. I definitely grew as an individual because I was exposed to different cultures and experiences that caused me to internally reflect on my own. Moreover, I pushed myself to say yes to opportunities that came my way and to embrace all that life had to offer. I have so many special memories from my time abroad, and so many of them are cherished recollections of the close friends I made there. We explored Thailand together and traveled to different destinations from the north to the south, and I feel really fortunate to have had besties and travel buddies in them. This internship has changed me significantly because it's helped me to change the way I look at the things. This was my first time going abroad, so it was completely new to me. I could never know how small I am when I stepped out of my comfort zone. Because of this opportunity to work abroad, I learned how to blend and adapt in a new environment, which is simply different from my home country. With food, culture, and language. I learned how to use languages here because no one speaks Vietnamese. Thanks to this, my English improved a lot when I had to force myself speaking English with my foreign friends in the daily life, and try to learn new Thai language to talk with vendors and the staffs at school. This internship shaped me to become a mature and independent person. Instead of settling down soon at the age of 20 and scared of being called leftover in the market of marriage, Now I know which is my future is and which values that I possess to continue my professional development.
In the midnight glow where the stars align, we lose ourselves in the rhythm divine. Underneath the sky painted with dreams, we're chasing the echoes of silent screams. Caught in the spell of the cosmic night, where fantasies bloom in the pale moonlight. We'll let go of all that we know and dance in the stardust's gentle flow. Dancing in the stardust, we're weightless and free in a world of wonders. Just you and me, lost in the moment. Our spirits ignite as we twirl in the magic of the cosmic light. Constellations become through the celestial symphony we'll sway. With every step we leave our cares behind. In this celestial ballroom, love's defined.
My first impression in Thailand is Thai people because they are all friendly and kind to me. It is not exaggerated that Thailand is well known as the land of smile when they always started talking to me with a smile on their faces. I was so lucky when I had a lot of Thai friends who shared and helped me to understand about Thai culture. They made me feel like home in Thailand. When I told my mom that I could go to Thailand in 3 months, my mom asked me, why Thailand? At that time, I just simply wanted to go abroad, and I still had no idea what would happen. I felt a bit doubtful and overwhelmed, but after experiencing and living there, I truly understood why Thailand. Wherever I went and visited, I felt at home. I could feel how friendly and warm-hearted my Thai friends and the local people were. The food is also amazing, and the places that make me feel so adventurous and motivated me.
Everything is new for me at the age of 22. It was the first time I went out of my country as well as the first time I traveled by plane. I still remember how enormous the Suvarnabhumi airport was, how friendly Thai people were, and how spicy my first dish was. Those were all my first impressions. I'm sure 100% that working abroad brought me a lot of experiences and lessons. I would never know how small I am in this big world if I didn't apply for IAESTE.